That. Here's New Beginnings. I love this picture. I love this picture. It's one of my faves from here because it just depicts what it's like here. And I have a couple of other pictures that are crazy that I came across them just this week in some box that I didn't even know had pictures in them. And I was rummaging around, opened it up, and this was one, getting my PhD. Yeah, which was like, whoa, blew my mind. And somehow, and look who's standing next to me, Ernie, right, of course. And yeah, this clicker is terrible. It's on, Peter. But can you just click me to the next slide? Because I'm not sure why. Got to move faster than that. Okay, so then somehow DeBell got my family here that I didn't even know why they showed up for this lunch, was to be there for it. And then I had the shirt off on the side, you know, crying about it. And this was the weekend that ICPA and New Beginnings had a whole thing together, which was a blast. And I was up on the tables dancing. This is before I drank wine. No kidding. We were having a great time. And then when I came to come down, of course, who's helping me? Ernie's saying, you better get down before the table collapses. Oh, it's because Sam Salimo jumped on the damn table, too. You blew it, Sam. Anyway, and then YMCA. And these were pictures, you know, Jim had these pictures out like years ago, like he's got boxes of pictures. And this was one of my favorite things, was Ernie's thing on Saturday morning. You know, we'd be sitting up till 3 in the morning with Pasquale Friday night, and then get up and do this Saturday morning. Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember? Anyhow, how to bring that out. Oh, by the way, this is the program. I created a whole program with that song. Ernie bought it. Every time I saw him, what do you got that's new? What do you got that's new? And I'm like, I don't know. And then he'd go do it. He went to the schools. I mean, I did too. For 12 years, I went to the schools with that song and a whole program, 4 times a year. 6th grade. I was the nervous system curriculum. That was back in the 90s. Before some changes, you know, and there he is, you know, with the kids. I mean, he sent me the pictures. Want to let you know I use this stuff. He did use it. He used everything. He used everything. Amazing, amazing person. Anyway, I was minding my own business and practice in the 90s. I really was. You know, life was good, very involved in the community, 6 kids. I had heard Joe Felicia and Reggie Gold and all them talk about birth, you know, was traumatic and all this, and I didn't believe them. I had 6 home births. Yeah, they're exaggerating, right? You know, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. And then Ernie told me this story. I don't know if you know, his first children were twins. And one of them died from birth trauma. And that's what motivated Reggie and Joe Felicia to bring that in that importance. I didn't believe them, but I started asking patients for videos of their birth in the 90s. And you know, I produced that video, which is intense. Very effective, telling people what you're doing, but intense. And I didn't believe what I was seeing. It was all footage from patients. Joe Felicia gave me his footage from his thing that he had from Renaissance. And it was just surreal to me because all I knew was home births and all I knew was natural birthing. I mean, I was seeing kids since the beginning because you see, the school that we went to taught us how to see kids. We graduated knowing how to adjust to animals. Because if you can't take a newborn, a brand new newborn, 2 days old, totally asymptomatic, assess them for subluxation, adjust them for whatever that means for them, you're not a chiropractor. That's what I learned in school. That was ADIO. That was Reggie and Irene's school. That's what we learned. So you better learn how to do that. That was the essence of chiropractic. Anyway, minding our business and practice, great family practice, home office with 6 kids, total chaos in our life. Living to this, Dee Dee Palmer I love it when people go, this pediatric thing's a new fad. Double your practice with pediatrics, I want to smack them. You're missing the point here, guys. Mothers and their babies are liable to be injured at childbirth. Many have their vertebral displaced at this critical period, causing acute and chronic diseases. If the adjuster is a chiropractor, he can adjust such, thereby preventing disease. Wow, okay, 1910. Anyway, in the mid-90s, I get this postcard in the mail from Larry Webster. Didn't even know the guy. And I say to Tom, yeah, I have 6 kids. Tia was, I don't know how old she was. She was maybe 2 or 3 or something. She's still nursing. I said, Tom, I think I want to do this. He goes, what do you need this for? You're seeing kids. We're adjusting kids. You know how to do this. You want to drive 2.5 hours to New York every weekend to go do that? And I said, yeah, something's telling me to do it. And I did. Every week having to pump in the hotel room because she was still nursing and, you know, dealing. And then there was a shift. And the crazy shift was then the second time I came to New Beginnings. And it was 1996. And I met this motley crew, the board. Jeez Louise, they step off the boat, you know. I'm from New York. I'm not intimidated by it. I felt too at home. And Jim DeBell, boom, you're going up. Throws me up on stage, right? Okay. I remember dancing to the, thank you, Jim. Thank you. For an intro and a beginning to 20 years of being all over the world and meeting a ton of people and connecting with chiropractic. So these were my mentors, the ones who kicked me in the ass and got me going, gave me a reality check. Not that I wasn't living it at home with 6 kids in our practice. Anyway, Larry passed in 1997. The ICPA winds up moving to my practice in 2002. Oh, it was so small, we did it on off days. My CA and I can handle this. 500 members, newsletter, 10 seminars a year. Jeez Louise. We've grown, like a lot. And it's because people are ready, not because it's like fad to see kids, because people are waking up. But more importantly, mothers are waking up. And that's something that I really want to share with you here. You know, I'm just going to show this blast from the past. Now, I'll skip this one. This is
on the definition of what trauma is associated with childbirth.
With respect to childbirth and trauma, you, like she said, you have different degrees of trauma, but you have what is called acceptable trauma because childbirth is a traumatic process.
Okay, so that was in the 90s. Right, and I did a TV show, my first TV show. I was scared, but I did it, and I did it well. And again, this is acceptable trauma. This, by the way, is C-section, you know, where they just unzip mom and take her out, which is not. And that rate continually gets higher and higher. And we really have to look at this. And then I'm talking about VSC in this one.
To you about a term that I've heard. It's called vertebral subluxations, which is something that is supposed to take place at birth, which is a part of the childbirth process. Would you define what that is and how it affects the child?
A vertebral subluxation is a misalignment of one of the spinal bones. I'm going to just pick up this spine here to kind of demonstrate it. This is a child's spine, about 6 years old, just a model of a child's spine. And what we have here is the brain would sit up here and the spinal cord comes down and through there. Now when you have pulling and twisting happening at the birth process, any type, forceps, which is very traumatic, can be as much as 90 to 120 pounds of pull pressure happening, or sometimes, you know, just manual with the hands where they're pulling on this tiny little spine. I mean, you see the bruise on the face from forceps. Can you imagine what's happening to the soft tissue there? So there's rotation, there's longitudinal traction, that's pull like this, and rotation that's happening that's really not so necessary to happen during birth. And what that can do is misalign or subluxate any one of these vertebrae, cause damage to the nerves that are coming out through there, cause damage to the spinal cord.
So subluxation is misalignment of the
vertebra, putting pressure on the nerves, causing edema.
So the next one is on SIDS. I don't really have time to show it, but what happened with that little voice before I left told me, take your box of references. You guys who remember Joe Felicia, you're going to laugh at this. Remember how he took you and had you laminate the studies, right? So you had like 15 friggin' studies, all those medical studies, and something said, take the box. And I get there and the guy goes, how do you talk in a group of, up against a medical professional, up against an OB, and who says there's no validation that children are injured at birth? How do you talk to them? And I was like, thank you for the box. Opened it up, and I took it, and I did what Joe did. You remember him standing up here. Na-na-na-na-na, boom, ba-na-na-na-na, boom, boom. And I went through the 10 studies, reading it off, on the TV show. And the guy goes, oh, so you have the validation, I mean, this is old. I just came across these videos that I hadn't seen, and I just wanted to share them. We've been all doing this for a long time. And now we sort of and I lost my mind in the 90s with the kids and the births. I really did, it flipped me. And I went out there trying to do SID studies and get to all the kids, and how can I get to the kids? And then it was like an aha. You get to them through the mother. What a friggin' concept, right? I'm only a mother of 6 and I don't know that, huh? So I produced that video. What could be a natural process has turned into a technological nightmare, leading to interventions with lifelong consequences. Yes, that's my quote. And it's all about the mother-baby connection. You gotta get to her in pregnancy, get her cognizant that every single decision she makes affects that baby, their nervous system. She needs to be coming from a place of higher thinking, so she makes the choices that allows no damage to happen. Because for centuries, women's intuition was respected as a vital contribution to the health and well-being of their families. But in recent years, technology has seemingly replaced women's input in family health decision. It's not so much that the voice of intuition has stopped talking to us, it's more accurate to say that its validity is being disregarded by our high-tech society. Isn't this what's happening? They're looking outside themselves. I'm trying to give you here in 20 minutes what I do in 12 hours. Hard, okay? But I want you a taste of this waking up, getting them diverting from outside and below up with birth. That we're not trusting that the body knows what it's doing. And I used to say this in my healthcare class. You eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Can I chew it? I can chew it. I can chew it. Can I swallow it? Of course I can swallow it. Am I going to be able to digest it? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm just not sure. Can it come down? Can I digest it? Is it going to come through? Oh my God, I'm going to have to push it out. Do we say that after we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner? But we do that to birth. And we've disempowered women who have the power of doing that since the beginning of time. And in so doing, it is no coincidence that the first and often greatest cause of nervous system stress in our society, the birth process, is also where women's intuitive powers have been squelched the most. Otherwise, that would have never happened, right? Could never have happened. Even in the animal world, aren't we higher than animals? So what do we do with this? Try to get her to trust her intuition, this source of wisdom, and no one else besides chiropractors. Get her to that level of understanding and reconnecting with that wisdom. So yes, we do the adjustment, and there's all sorts of things that we connect with the adjustment, but our philosophy reconnects her with something that no other practitioner or person is telling her. Do you know how insanely amazing and important that is for her as she's going through this process? This is over the top important. Not just for her, and she can have the birth she wants with the candles and incense. We're talking the future of humanity. I have chickens. I have a very confused peacock until we got a goose. And then they didn't know, am I a goose or am I a peacock? And so they get together every morning, and it's kind of weird. And Justin says, no, I will not film it. And Tom says, I love the one you're with, whatever works. I want to very briefly tell you about these chickens and peacocks and ducks, turkeys. Got a lot of birds now. The ones that hatch under the mother, okay, we call them the homegrowners, they know how to sit on the eggs and pop out new ones. 21 days, 28 days, whatever it takes. Those were the first chickens I ever had. Hey, copacetic, this is great, I'm getting a bunch of babies. I love babies. They're just coming through. Then my dog died, and the fox moved in and started killing my homegrowners. Shit, what am I gonna do? Oh, well, you can buy these chickens in a box, you know, and the postage man delivers them. They're a day old, so I call those the postage stampers, right? So the postage stampers come, and they get delivered, you know, and there they are, and okay, great. And I raise them. They're not sitting on eggs. It's been bred out of them. They've been grown in incubators. They don't have the connection with the mother. They're disconnected. They're a little dumber, too. The ones under the mother, man, they know the hawk sound. These guys are like, what hawk? Snack, sushi, chicken bit, whatever you want to call it, right? Ah! Okay? This is why I'm ballistic these days. Because if we breed it out of us, we're gone. I don't know what it is, but we can genetically mutate ourselves to I'm not sure what. We lose our humanness, which means our human potential. We do birth at home. Very blessed that my sons married women, connected with women who do birth at home. When the girl first comes home, it's like, okay, first she's got to eat dinner with us. That's the thing, there's 22 of us. Well, now there is. It wasn't then when Melissa first came, but there's a lot. We get together a lot and have dinner. And I'm in your face right away with her. Because if she can't put up with me, there's going to be a serious problem. Let's just get it out on the first time that we meet, all right? Boom, boom. So Justin brings home Melissa, and we're like, boom, 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 okay, great. Then she has to get adjusted and like it. We have a home office. Justin took her, Tom took her, adjusted her, brought her back in. They're leaving for college, and I said to Tom, I like her, what do you think? He goes, yeah, I like her too. But you know what? She's got a small pelvis. La, 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 la. He goes, no, I'm not kidding. Shut up. I don't want to hear that shit. No. He goes, it's small. I'm like, la, 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 right? And she had a tough first labor, 32 hours. We were in Portugal on the phone. All I can say is we got to make birth normal with our families. This is a classic picture here. Classic. They were at a birth, right? You can't make this shit up. Birth is not about making babies. Birth is about making mothers strong, competent, capable mothers who trust themselves and know their inner strength. Where's my magazine? This last summer, ICPA defined our brand, who we are and what it means to be a member here, more so by knowing who and why we're serving, who we're serving. And it's the mothers. We're talking about all hell breaking loose with vaccines and this and that and that. We have to re-empower these women. They are going to make the changes. They need you guys standing right behind them. I didn't get a chance to get into protecting the cave. They really need the cave protective. They're a bear, and you're not coming near it. They want us and our services. They are exploding over what we offer. This is our commitment to them. What if there was an organization that recognized your own unique expression and human potential? What if that same organization represented the most highly trained practitioners who could provide specific, gentle care so that you could function at your greatest capacity? What if this organization of practitioners knew how to care for children by honoring women throughout their pregnancy and motherhood? Imagine if doctors truly supported a woman's innate right to make informed choices for her own family. Imagine if a safe community of empowered parents existed to support a mother's inner guidance and desire to grow. These are the principles and practices of the ICPA and its community of over 6,000 doctors of chiropractic. These 6,000 members have come together to serve families, the heart and home of our human potential. The loving and gentle care of chiropractic for each individual strengthens the family, strengthens the community, and opens the possibility for a greater tomorrow. To me, this is what Larry meant. Chiropractic today for a better world tomorrow. Are you in? Thank you.
Jeanne Ohm.